Okay, guess what? I'm back on the air again, and I'm back up here, loving every minute of it. Hey, well, it's YouTube live time again for me. I love being on YouTube. I love what I do on YouTube sometimes, and sometimes it comes too with those, you know, call them the weekend warriors out there. You know what I'm talking about. Ones you don't want to hear about. Well, I've been thinking a lot over the last few days. I know one of these days I may do this on YouTube. It'll probably be Monday, a week before the Christmas week on Monday. You might see me live streaming from McMasterville, CFNU. Remember, turn it on if you want to listen to me. And if you're in school, pay attention to your teachers in a classroom. 'Cause I want you to pay attention to it because if you don't pay attention, you're not going to get your education. Think about that one. Yesterday, walking past the cemetery up on the mountain yesterday, I was going by, I see the big sign on the register door, peace, peace on earth, basically. Kind of sign I just couldn't believe about it. And I looked again and again and again. And then I took a photograph. But when I was walking past the cemetery here, I was thinking about this drinking and driving. How many people end up in the cemetery from drinking and driving? Can you guess? Every Christmas, somebody drinks. Every Christmas, somebody passes away from the alcohol. And every year, always a few roadside fatalities right around Christmas time because people don't listen. Well, the serious of that. Well, I've ever seen moonshine before. I seen some moonshine and I wasn't too happy about it. It's just so bad. Somebody went down in the southern United States and bought a bottle of moon. They bought a bottle of wine, didn't realize moonshine, got across the border in Canada, not realizing what it was. I got it, went to look at Coca. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just about full. As soon as I could smell the alcohol, that was strong. It was so strong, it's unbelievable. Way off. And I just thought, this is not, something not right here. I went out in the back, we had this shuffleboard court, and it was a cold day, and I put a little bit of this, I put a little bit on the ground. As soon as I lit the barbecue light to it, it went, it burned right down fast. And it went out quick after that. Boom. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Moon sign. Fucking damn moon sign. All things. And, well, took an older lady that gave it to me. So in this building, very good friend. I told her where went down to into Tennessee area, not being hillbilly country. I want to know, did you buy this from road stand on the side of the road somewhere? And yeah, on U.S. Route 20 in Tennessee area, we went past this stand, and they were selling wine and vegetables and stuff. Whoa. You know what you got? I told her, now you got to pour that wine into it, right down the toilet, that moon sign. You don't want to touch it. And right off the bat, it will pour, she poured it right down the toilet in the apartment. I poured mine down the toilet. And I took the two bottles and threw them both. I took the bottle and threw it in the blue bin downstairs. So it ends up getting recycled up there. But then I thought, well, I'm going to find this place on maps. So I started to dig on maps. And I did find the location map. Didn't show the stand there. It showed something under construction. But I thought I was going to go down and hit onto a street view. I'll get to Google Street View and that address. I look around. I saw a camera, not very old video camera on the property. It's a very old one from the early 70s, vintage stuff. And it was functional because I see the lights on it going. Then I looked at it and realized that the Northern Telecom made video cameras. in the late 70s on Sussex Road for a period, but they weren't that popular and nobody really bought them except for a few down in Tennessee were sold in that area, basically not many. Okay, and I did the back door. If I get on the computer here, get on the computer. And what they do, click. And we go here. There you go. And I got into a camera. Okay. I said, okay, got into a camera. There's a back door that Nortel has no camera. It used to do firmware updates that wouldn't be a firmware update for quite some time, so it would be running an old firmware from late 70s. So I thought I'm going to tap into it. I tapped into it. Guys had cameras around us still. They had cameras out on the road watching for deputies, stuff like that. My God. You're watching for serious, hiding it when it came. But what did I do? Well, I got on the phone there. I make a phone call. And after I made the phone call to the sir, I actually phoned the county sir up down that location and down the state, phoned the deputy up, deputy kind of, and I told him what I got here, and this is what it was, all that, and then from that, I did that point. I got the camera. What did I do? I put a screen on the computer saying software update on a computer. I I made a slide saying software update, firmware update. Please stand by. I opened the feed up to the sir computer. He looked at this, and the guy, and he looking at it like that. Oh man, I knew they'd do it. I just knew it. They're doing move sign that road. They were doing it on 12. Well, yeah, everything up there, we can prove it. Well, because they had old equipment, they know how to get into it. And then I gave a sir the access code to the cameras. And what I do, I kept the cameras open. He can see everything. You know, he says, I'm getting a hold of DEA immediately. Hold the DEA immediately, and I'm gonna bring him down immediately into a situation immediately. And the DEA said we'd be there in 10 minutes. The sir, I'm getting in my car, and I'm gonna go there immediately. And then from there on the phone, then I looked on there, and guess what? The sir pulling up, car pulls up to where the stand was. They get up, got the sir didn't pull up, and first two unmarked vehicles with government plate, DEA, then the sir came, and after that, and they went and they got the camera feed. DEA had it too, but I attacked into at the same time in U.S. At that point, they moved in, and they decided they moved in. They raided the stand, took the bottle. Every one of them had moonshine. They sold it to a couple of tourists, sold it to a Canadian tourist coming back home to Canada on the road. And the two of them actually, got across borders now. Or DEA slapped the cuff on them. They went back to still. And of course, the camera, they did not know all the sound on software up there. Oh boy, then they busted them right at the still. They knocked the still over. They threw buckets of water right onto the fire burning under the boiler to steam to make the illegal whiskey. You know what happened next? Well, they threw a cold bucket of water on it on the boiler. And when they did that, the boiler cracked, all the stuff pouring out. And then they all poured out into the river. And on top of that, they literally just took the still and what they do, well, they grabbed it and they took it they dragged it out of the floor, put handcuffs on, took them out of the floor, busted them. They were all busted, you know. Not only that, they got some very good federal charges on them, airtight case right there. The federal charges here was transporting moonshine, selling moonshine over cross state lines, distributing moonshine to tourists and to foreign countries, distributing moonshine to Canadian tourists in foreign countries, people foreign countries, and could be and all that. All those charges were on them big time. And DEA looked at the camera and looked at me on the camera. I said, "Thank you very much for this. Wasn't for you hacking the system, well, it won't happen." Well, what happened next is I opened back up again. I'm gonna go and put this and on the computer it says software update, but as soon as I clicked the firmware update complete, boom, camera comes back on, and guess what? Then it says that then I could see him. So I'm on that time I'm a Zoom call with them on the call, and they phoned me up at home. They called me. I talked to them over the phone, give a statement on this, and I said, what, and that. So and I did dump it down the toilet. Well, DEA told me you did the right thing by doing that right away and disposing of it quickly. Because we don't want any more, don't want moonshine. No, we don't like it in Canada either. I said, we hate it. I don't like to look at somebody does it and manage to get it out of the country into another country. In my country, that is not right at all. I mean, federal, don't worry about that. We got so many federal charges now, including that. Guess what? We were going to they're going away for quite some time. Well, the moral of the story, all the rest of it. But later on, I heard it when the judge styled in court. Well, it yesterday, not on Friday. You know what happened on Friday? The judge looked at them and said, "Okay, you boys, I'm going to give you all 70 years in state penitentiary. Think about it. And to get these moonshiners out of my courtroom, please." So their deputy hauled them out and took them down to holding. And they loaded on us and sent them off. We went to big house in the state, big federal pen. And it won't be nice for them. And because they're in for big, long haul. And of course, then I said, talking to the sheriff deputy of that, again on the phone, I said, what about my information? The judge saw all the information on the camera you hacked into. He's actually seen how you did it. He knew exactly, right? And he was very good at Judge Randall, a very good judge. I really say I did the job, and that justice was served. Well, is there a bounty out for this or a reward for catcher? Yes, there will be. I'm right now. I want to. I'm gonna get a special. I'm gonna get a bounty. There's a bounty out for about $1,000, and I'm being a law of Tennessee. We have to pay the bounty out to you because you were a hunter that gotten through video surveillance. So, about 2,000 American dollars. And I said, "Can you do it? Can you do this 2,000 in a cashier's check and have it sent by registered mail to my address? Express all things." Sent by express courier. Well, he did that. I went by courier, he said on the phone. I went out by express courier, UPS. Yesterday, the UPS truck called up my house yesterday and delivered it to me. And I right off the bat, I delivered information. I had my haul, but even at the Food and Drug Administration got my banking information somehow, unless they found it in bank computer. Because they direct deposited my bank overnight on me too. Anyway, I got confirmation that check was direct deposit by courier anyway. So yes, I walked away some money out of this. They hit parade. That was called, video. I did some bit called video bounty hunting, basically using the cameras. I used their technology to prosecute. And basically, I use outdated technology, the outdated camera to do that. Ba ba bum 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 busted. Ha ha ha. Use technology to get what they got busted. Well, I think in my advice song, I guess too. Everybody know a crowd. Shake down, break down. You busted. That's right. Getting lots and lots and lots of time to think about it. And I don't see the. Wow. I hope you guys remember this. Please don't drink and drive at Christmas time, or because you may miss Christmas. Your family may be attending your funeral at Christmas drinking and drive, all because of that. Or worse, do something so awful that you spend life in jail. Think about it. Reminder, please don't drink and drive the holiday. Take a taxi, public transit. A deal will get you there safe and get you there sound, of course. Yep. Don't leave it. Don't you drive. Take a taxi, public transit, go train, go bus. Any form, or even GO train, be aware, any form of Amtrak, commuter rail in the U.S., metro rail, all commuter rail. Take it, get home, and be safe. I don't want to hear another holiday, but a lot of them happen every year because people don't take the message. They think, I know we don't drive. No, don't drink and don't drive. Have a safe, happy, Merry Christmas. And I'll have a live blog that weekend on Christmas Eve. There's going to be a live blog on Christmas Eve, too. Going to be coming out of London, Ontario through the Airbnb Wi-Fi. But another live blog will come out soon. It's probably going to be broadcasted live at CFU during my last of the year show, Don't Drink and Drive special in the background. That because I have a copyright license with SOCAN, but YouTube may see us as, a flag copyright. Now, that means that what I have to do here is that you hear it on the radio, but I will have the volume off on the monitor. I hear it in my headphone, but you won't hear it when I do the show. You're going to hear me on the air, but that's about it. You won't hear the music because I have to do that because of copyright limit. I will use my license to do so, but because I don't want to be copyright flag on my video on this, I have to do it with I had to do it with not have the audio music out. I can talk out, but the audio can't go due to copyright reasons. Anyway, so when you do see my live stream, you can only hear it on the radio online through cfu.ca or wherever on the internet. And I'm going to make sure that the live stream can air off my YouTube channel. But please, you can listen to it on if you really want to listen, you can go back and play it on at cfu.ca and go live there and listen to a live stream. And you hear me talking there, but you hear me talking on the video on this at the same time, basically. We might be a minute or two delayed due to our system. Does have a delay in it by minute delay. So please remember, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Take a taxi, public transit, blog over. There will be one next weekend, probably on a Saturday or Sunday. Blog over.